I'm the one and only MVP, Michael Venom Paige. Entertaining, unusual, unique. I like to do stuff that doesn't necessarily make sense.
Platinum, Mike Perry!
I think I'm one of the toughest men on the planet. It may not always be pretty, but damn it, you can't beat me. We'll see if he ever comes forward at all.
I want to go in there, I want to land shots and not be touched. I'm more a sniper.
Like I said, man, if he's there at the end of it, well, he'll be bleeding.
Connor, the Brumtown Bomber, Tierney, Joe, Hitman, 187, Elmo.
Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. I'm on a mission to get it all. Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. If you ain't thick, please don't get involved.
And now, Brandon Thick Boy Schaub.
What is poppin', thick boys, thick girls, thick kids, thick grandpas, thick aunts, thick gay uncles? We all just thick out there, man. It's a thick boy summer. It's coming to an end, isn't it? When's summer officially over, Chin?
I don't even know.
August? Is it sometime in August or September 1st? When is summer over? September 22nd. Okay, we got a little bit of ways to go. Summer is not even close to be. Well, we have about a month and a half, huh? Mm-hmm. What is today, the 15th? Yeah, we got about a month and a week.
It's starting to get really hot now, too.
It's getting spicy out there. It is goddamn toasty. Your boy went on a bike ride and a run yesterday. About 2-3 mile run, just shy of 3, so I won't say 3. That's not fair. And then about 15-mile bike ride, and I didn't bring any water. I got to get my thick ass in shape for the Tough Mudder on August 27th in Chicago. I assume it's going to be hot out there. I assume it's going to be goddamn scorching out there. So I decided to go out in 100-degree weather in the middle of the mountains in California with no water, and it was a bad idea. I started throwing up. I didn't eat all day. I fast on the weekends, and it was 2 o'clock by the time I went on this bike ride. Just look at my fucking tongue.
It looks dry.
Dry. My God, I had the tongue of a parrot, dude. It's just dry, cracked. I literally started throwing up, but throwing up nothing.
It's like the worst thing to do.
Oh, and then my abs started cramping. It was insane. But I made it home, got some electrolytes. Shout out to what I use. I used the Liquid IV.
Yeah.
The orange one. Boom. Your
Delicious.
boy's back in action with the kiddos after that. Thick Daddy's coming up. Yeah, I got to get my thick ass in shape for the Tough Mudder on the 27th. Oh, that's my son singing freaking Journey.
Does he do that a lot? Does he sing?
Oh, my God, dude. Nonstop.
You might have a singer, huh?
Maybe, dude. He loves it. His favorite song in the freaking world is freaking Journey.
Trippy.
Just an uptown girl. But the thing is, the one he watches, it's live in Houston. You know, born and raised in South Detroit. But he goes, born and raised in right here in Houston. All he thinks is it's Houston.
Oh.
And when he goes like this is when he goes, Houston. You're like, all right, dude, you're getting the wrong song. But yeah, first day of preschool. Now, here's where it gets dicey. First day of preschool in that fire-ass outfit he was styled by his dad. I'm his Kanye. He's my Kim, right? And some fresh Air Force Ones, okay? Fresh Air Force Ones, flexing on the kids for sneaker day. And then he has calves like his mom. He has those big Moana calves. And then he's going to miss the rest of the week of school because he's going to Montana. So we'll see. You know, he's not the best. Brett didn't plan that too well. Enjoy your first day at school, and then you're going to miss the entire week and then come back while everybody else made friends, and you're going to be on your own. You'll figure it out, though, dude. You'll figure it out. He's pissed because he went to the car show. Would someone DM me a new car show that's in Malibu, and it's small. And it's from 7 to 9. And when they say 7 to 9, they mean 7 to 9. So we stopped at Starbucks about 8:50, got there around 9:10. There was 3 cars in the parking lot. 3 cars. There was a 918 Carrera, so that made it worth it. So that's dope. But yeah, if you know of any new or even older car shows popping up around California. Let your boy know. My kids are not happy, dude. It makes me look like a bad father. Yeah, is the silver one, the Carrera GT. It's probably going for about 1.8 right now, 1.8 mil. My son goes, Dad, why don't you buy that? I'm like, you're out your goddamn mind, dude. You have no clue what the hell you're talking about. That car's fantastic. Interesting about those, and we'll move on to fights. What's interesting about those is when they first came out, nobody wanted them. Everyone made fun of them.
Oh, the way they look?
Yeah, just everything. Everyone's like, what the hell? But now they are regretting it, because if you could have got that thing at MSRP, it would be a great investment. Porsche 918 Spider. They're so dope.
It looks so dope, yeah.
Really
is that the one that spins out of control real easy?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's good then.
Yeah. You're referring to the Widowmaker, the 996 GT2 RS.
Is that what it is?
Those things are a problem. Rogan has one, souped up from Sharks Works. But Rogan can drive his ass off, and he doesn't drive like a dumbass. But they're filthy.
996 GT Turbo?
It'd be a 996 GT2 RS, is referred to as the Widowmaker sometimes. 996, 997. Yeah, those are, if you get your hands on one of those, you're doing pretty good. All right, Thickies, UFC 278 is here, and it is action-packed. That's right, you have the Kamaru Usman versus Edwards rematch in the main event. Throw down and grab your own epic victory with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the UFC. This Saturday, new customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in free bets instantly, win or lose. If that's not enough action for you, you can also get a $10 risk-free same-game parlay. Just combine multiple bets like which fighter will come out on top, how long will the fight last, and so much more. Listen, man, I told you, now that I'm saying I'm picking all these guys, it'll be a fun parlay to bet on all the underdogs. You got Leon Edwards as a dog. You got Luke Rockhold, dog. Jose Aldo, dog. The three of them, parlay, we go win Sizzler, daddy. The three dogs ain't a bad bet. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code SCHAUB. Bet $5 on UFC 278 and get $200 in free bets instantly. That's code SCHAUB this Saturday at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the UFC. Minimum age, eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. See next page for directions for disclaimer. Download DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use promo code SCHAUB. You had some fights this weekend. You had a fight night in San Diego, California. A home game for the legend, one of the best to ever do it. You might regard him as the best bantamweight fighter of all time, WC champ, UFC champ, commentator. The dude is Mamba mentality, Dominick Cruz. This is a tough one for me because I'm close with Chito. Chito is my boy. Chito I regard as a friend. I love Chito. His story is fantastic. He's been in the UFC for a hot second, and it's just his time. And I think he got Dominick Cruz right at the perfect time. But I root for Dominick Cruz, just like I'm going to root for Jose Aldo this Saturday, UFC 278, right? UFC 278. It's tough not to root for these legends kind of on a resurgent path to a title shot. If Dom won this, you'd have to give him a title because it's Dominick Cruz. Dominick Cruz is impossible to beat, impossible to KO, impossible to finish. He only loses the guys that are either champs, former champs, or their next fight, they're fighting the champ. So for Chito taking on Dominick Cruz, all the chips were stacked against him. And even stylistically, not ideal for Vera. And I was watching his family and friends, and obviously Dominick Cruz came out like a goddamn banshee. He looked good. You're talking about after 3 ACL surgeries. The guy's he's just a warrior, man. He's done a lot of work on himself to get back there. And if anybody needs ACLs, it's Dominick Cruz. With his movement, his footwork, his angles, nobody needs movement more for their fight style than Dominick Cruz. That guy is predicated on a fight style that requires a lot of footwork, a lot of angles, a lot of movement, unorthodox movement. He's a pioneer, man. A lot of people have taken his style and that to their own. You look at, even guys that have beat him or he's beat, you look at TJ Dillashaw, his style pretty close to Dominick Cruz. Not exactly, but he's definitely a splash of Dominick Cruz. You look at certain guys that are in the bantamweight division, Travis Brown for that matter, had a very similar style with his movement. There's a lot of guys. Who else am I forgetting? You look at, what's his name? My boy. Why am I forgetting his fucking name? He cut weight, lost, now he's back.
Oh, Cody
Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt, very similar style. Now, is it to a T? No, but it is, Dominick Cruz did start a trend. He was the first one to do it, being a wrestler, and then incorporating that kind of movement into mixed martial arts. He changed the game, man. He changed the game. He's similar to Steph Curry and how the NBA has changed to, long range shots. That's Dominick Cruz. What he's done has really changed the game for the better. So hats off Dominick Cruz. This was a tough one for me because I do love Dominick Cruz. I think he's one of the most, if not the most brilliant mind to ever fight. He is the closest thing we have to Kobe Bryant fighting in the UFC. He just has that, kill or be killed mentality. He's going to do everything it takes to win a fight. All he cares about is fighting. And you look at his personal life, this dude, all he gives a flying fuck about is fighting. He's obsessed with it. So I root for that guy, man. And, for Chito and Dom Cruz too. For Chito, he's had a few key moments in his career. You look at his fight against Jose Aldo, kind of his first big test. He didn't really pull the trigger, sat back too long. And then he turned it on at the end of the fight, but a little too late to, he just didn't get it done. And I think he learned from that, and it set him up for success against these other legends like Dominick Cruz. Obviously, he had the win over Sugar Sean, which is big, feather in his cap. But this was kind of a make or break for both guys, because for Chito, right, he loses Sung Young Dong, unanimous decision. Obviously, now that we know what Sung Young Dong is about, that's nothing to hang your head about. And that was fight of the night, not to mention. And then he gets Sugar Sean. Say what you want, beat Sugar Sean, and then you give him Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo was kind of his first really big test. He didn't pass that test. So it's like, all right, well, let's go back to the drawing board. For a lot of guys, I think they would be like, all right, maybe I'm just not at that level. But after that, Chito goes on to rip off 3 wins in a row. And out of those 3 wins, one of them is Frankie Edgar, another legend, which brutal front kick KO in the 3rd round, got performance of the night. Fight before that is fight of the night. Fight right after that, Rob Font misses weight, and then he beats him as a main event. Again, Jose Aldo lost. All right, let's see how he reacts. Beats Davey Grant, fight of the night. Then they go, okay, maybe he is there. Here's Frankie Edgar, another legend, another tough guy to beat, tough guy to finish. KO, front kick, savage, performance of the night. Oh shit, all right, here's your first main event. Here's a main event against Rob Font. No punk, dude. Guy puts out some volume, man. It's gonna be tough. Destroys Rob Font. I mean, that was a mercy rule fight. He absolutely destroyed Rob Font. Gets fight of the night there. Okay, maybe we can invest in Chito. Here's Dominick Cruz, and now not only fighting Dominick Cruz coming off a huge win over Pedro Munoz, but here's Dominick Cruz in his backyard in San Diego. All the chips are against you. Depending how you judge fights, and obviously the number one thing we know, the number one criteria that the judges are supposed to judge on is damage inflicted. Now, in those first 2 rounds, you would say, first 3 rounds, you would say 1 and 2, Dom had takedowns, did the most output, had a higher output, but Chito did drop him, which would be the most damage inflicted. But still, I think overall he's probably down 2 rounds going to the 3rd. I think he wins the 3rd, so he's down 2-1 on the cards going to the 4th. And I'm watching with family and friends, and my girl kept saying, Cruz is going to beat him via decision. I go, no. Chito's a slow starter. Dom's a super fast starter. If Dom knows you're a slow starter, he comes at you like a fucking banshee. There's nobody better at game playing than Dominick Cruz. I'm telling you, he's a monster. But the best thing about Chito is he hits like a Mack fucking truck. And when he does hit, he makes it count. And he's just downloading the data. He's downloading data. Very similar to what Floyd Mayweather would do, especially older in his career, as he came more experienced. He would let guys kind of get off on him a little bit. He was a slow starter. Now, is he a slow starter or is he just downloading the data? Remember, this is a 5-round fight, so that favors Chito. especially with his fighting style. So Chito's downloading the data. Now you're downloading the data of Dominick Cruz, who it's very rare he does the same thing twice. He mixes up, he throws feints, he's in, he's out. You give him to the cage, which I thought for Chito was very important to capitalize when Cruz was against the cage. As soon as foot hit that black line, in my head, I'm like, if I'm Chito's team, I'm saying this is where you need to capitalize. When his foot hits that black line, this dude's all over the goddamn place. You got it. That's where you hone in and fire off. First 2 rounds couldn't get the timing. Chito's downloading. Even though he threw that double jab straight right, which lit Dominick Cruz up, he's still down on the card, I think, 2-1, won the third. Fourth, it's not that Cruz slowed down, but Chito download more, and then you can see it. And I said this in the first round to my girl and to my father-in-law. I went, notice every time Dom Cruz gets out, his head is down. His head's way to the side. Whether it's left or right, he's getting out. It's fast. But if Chito can time that, it could be a problem. It's also kind of old school, got to be honest. Even though his style changed the game for the better, it is an older style, and guys are more privy to what's going on here, and they're going to capitalize if you're swaying to one side or the other. So Dom Cruz goes to get out like he always does and has been very successful doing it. It finally caught up with him because Chito throws that left high kick and kicks him right in the fucking face. I don't mean like usually you see one of those kicks like kind of graze a face, or maybe the foot will wrap around the back of the head and their equilibrium's off. No. Not only did he kick him directly in the face, he shattered his goddamn nose. And you're talking about UFC royalty. So for Chito, he's not a guy that talks trash really. These two had some bad blood going into it, but in this day and age, guys get on the mic and they tell the UFC what they want to do. I think for Chito, it's a little murky because you have so much going on there, man. You in that division, it's like it's not very clear. I think Chito could have asked for a title shot, and I don't think any of us would argue with it. Beating Frankie Edgar, right? Horrible KO over Frankie, and then doing what nobody's ever been able to do to Dominick Cruz. I think he deserves a title shot. Only problem there is you're going to be waiting a hot second. You got Aljamain Sterling and TJ Dillashaw fighting, right? Maybe get the winner of that. But then you also got Peter Yan and freaking Sugar Sean O'Malley fighting. You also have Corey Sandhagen and Sung Young Dung fighting. So there's this kind of gamut tournament in the bantamweight division where Chito can be put in there. So I would assume what happens with Chito, depending on what goes on with a Sterling TJ Dillashaw fight, I would assume Chito gets the winner of Sugar Sean Peter Yan. Sugar could definitely win that fight. He was an underdog. He can win that fight. All I'm saying is, for my money, Peter Yan versus Chito is a goddamn fight of the year written all over it. But to the latter of that, if Sugar Sean were to get it done, becomes top 5 biggest stars in the UFC, a rematch with Sugar and Chito ain't too bad either. There's no bad fights for Chito. The only one that would kind of fuck things up, if Corey Sandhagen starches Sung Young Dung, then you'd probably do Corey versus Chito. That probably Corey's from my hometown. I've been with that kid since he was fucking 15. Came into high altitude martial arts as a basketball player. Now to see him ranked in the fucking top 5 is insane to me. So I always root for Corey. But as far as star power and Chito's career, that'd be worst case for him. But none of them were bad. I really think he's going to get the winner of Peter Yan and Sugar Sean, and then winner of that fights Chito. Then the winner of Chito, Peter Yan, or Sugar gets the title shot. We go in Sizzler. That division, that bantamweight is fantastic. I can't get enough. Overall, great fight card. Great fucking fight card. And DC kept saying how electric the crowd was. He's like, I've been through a lot of these, man. I've never felt anything like in San Diego. San Diego crowds are fantastic when they want to be. They lost the Chargers because they have no energy and have too many options. And then you bring it up and they get all pissed. But Marlon Vera had a lot of pressure on him to perform because the 2 fights before that, and really the whole main card was fantastic. Meerschaert looked fantastic against Bruno Silva to get the submission. And then you had a TKO after that in the first round, 1 minute in. Devin Clark got, tough fight for him against Osmat, who's a fucking monster at light heavyweight. Again, these guys are coming in. These Russians, Dagestani, coming in. I keep telling you guys, coming in. Learn how to pronounce their name, Brendan. I'm telling you, dude, invest time in it. And I'm a Devin Clark fan, dude. With his wrestling background, he has the Milwaukee Bucks tattoo on his chest, so that's lit. He's giant for the division. I feel like he could fight at heavyweight if he wanted to, would have some significant advantages there. So, Osmat's the real deal, man. He's a fucking tough customer, man. Very tough customer. And then going right before the co-main event, the Yasmin versus Lasman, two debuts. Saw people saying greatest debuts of all time. I think people got caught up in the moment. Don't get me wrong, great fight. They both have so much potential. Both of them have great UFC careers. Skill-wise, they're both young. I think one's 20, the other's like 21. Very young. First fights in the UFC. It's not fight of the year. I thought people got a little out of control. I think people got caught up in the moment. The fight card was insane, and that was a good fight, but come on. Best debut we've ever seen. This is ridiculous. Oh, really? Thought it was good. If you think it was better than that co-main event, Nate Landwehr,
Mm-hmm.
Nate Landwehr versus David Onama, you're out of your goddamn mind. That was straight up fight of the year. Those featherweight boys, Nate from the Dana White's Contender Series said, "Hold my bear, ladies. I'm going to work, daddy." And he's must-see TV. He's, now, at featherweight, is he a top 10 guy? No, God, no. He's not there yet. The skills aren't there. And David Onama is going to have a very tough time because he got broke in the second round, So when I see a guy break this early, it's going to be a tough go for him, man. Very tough go. But there's guys who break early and then learn to work on their mental aspect of it, and maybe that scares them. You look at a guy like Sam Alvey, obviously lost 9 in a row. That's awful. But he was a guy who Ultimate Fighter quit, broke, So, he figured out how to, iron out those demons and had a decent career, and you couldn't break that guy inside that octagon. But, David Onama, there was some quit there, which is alarming. But that fight was fantastic. And then Nate gets on the mic and rips. I thought an awkward promo. That was a little awkward, but man, he put some pressure on Marlon Vera to Chito to fucking perform. And, Marlon Vera, Dominick Cruz was a great. It's weird to go from, Yasmin and Lasman, their debuts, and Nate Landwehr and David Onama. And then, don't get me wrong, they're fun fights. But to go from those two fights into the tip of the spear and Chito and Dominick Cruz, there's just a difference in there. It's like your TV got brighter. You know what I'm saying? It's like even if you're watching on a bullshit TV, you still have that 4 HD when Chito and Dominick Cruz performed, man. It was a fantastic fight. Good fight. Game of inches, man, and fuck that kick, dude. Yep. My word, that fucking kick. So hats off to our boy Chito, man. He's doing the goddamn thing. We got to get him on a fight campaign. I'm trying. He might go to Salt Lake City. That's where UFC 278's at this weekend. Now, this Saturday, it's a busy time for your boy. Now, I am going on vacation this week, but I hit the ground running because I come back Friday. Well, my family stays there because Daddy has work to do, right? Someone has to pay for that vacation. So Daddy comes back early. I hit the ground running Friday with a food truck and a special guest. And then Saturday, we start off with a fight campaign, the first one ever, for BKFC in London at 11 a.m. It's one of the biggest BKFCs ever. You have Michael Venom Paige versus Mike Perry. Since they announced this, everyone's been excited about it. And the co-main event is Paige VanZant versus another OnlyFans star, Sigala. She's 38, so obviously time is not in her favor. She's 1-2. Paige is 0-2, but both of them are bigger than their records. I'm excited for this fight. Always excited when Paige fights. Paige is an interesting one because she doesn't need to fight. She makes so much goddamn money off her OnlyFans. It's really not even her only. So there's OnlyFans. And then Paige said, no. I'm going to do my own thing and launch her own website with her own OnlyFans content. Just so she owns all of it. It's brilliant. Brilliant. Yep. Paige has a great career, man. So, we're doing a Fight Companion at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Then we're also doing another Fight Companion, completely different crew at 7 p.m. Pacific on Thick Boy. So the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship in London will take place with myself, Bert Kreischer, and Matt Mitrione at 11 a.m. on Saturday on Thick Boy YouTube. Bert is one of my favorite fucking people on the planet, and I absolutely love the guy, and he is so fun. So we're going to be drinking early on Saturday for the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship with Michael Venom Paige and Mike Perry, with Bert Kreischer and Matt Mitrione. And then come on back because Thick Boy is doing the Fight Companion, Calabas Fight Companion for UFC 278. I will announce those guests very soon. That's going to be a fun one as well. But this card, originally the plan wasn't to do 2 Fight Companions, but I'm solo. Family's out of town. What else am I going to do? I'm going to watch it anyways. Might as well watch it with the boys, the crew here, and some very fun guests. And it's a great card. The main card is fantastic. Kicks off with Tyson Pedro, my brother from a very Australian mother. We've done a shoey together, so we're basically brothers. Harry Hunsucker, he's fighting him. Great fight for Tyson Pedro. He's been off for a hot second, but I'm definitely taking Tyson Pedro on that. And then next up, you have Marcin Tybura versus Alexander Romanov. Romanov, right?
Looks like Romanov, yeah.
It's savage. I think he's undefeated, but tough fight for your boy Tybura. Very tough fight. I can't see this going to the judges' scorecards. To be undefeated, I don't give a fuck where you're fighting at. To be a heavyweight and go undefeated this long, you're doing something right. You're doing something right, and this boy gets finishes. He had one split decision. Other than that, though, he's a savage, man. EFC heavyweight champion. To be, was he 16? No, nuts. He beat Chase Sherman, which is no punk. Veranda, yep. He tough fight for Tybura. Very tough fight. And then we get into the nitty gritty of it. You have some superstars on this card, which I'm excited for it. You have Jose Aldo versus Merab
Valashvili.
So the D's just silent, huh?
You kind of say Valashvili.
Valashvili. That's
tough,
a fun
dude.
one.
Yeah.
Jose versus Valashvili. Root for my boy Jose. I think he's won 3 in a row since one of those wins over Chito. And there you go.
Yep.
So he beat Chito, Pedro Munoz, and Rob Font. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
His fight against Peter Yan was fantastic. He's a savage, man. He's one of the greatest to ever fucking do it. Again, Valashvili and some of these other Russians and Dagestans, and Valashvili's from where?
Oh, darn, I forgot.
He's a savage.
Georgia.
Got a nose on him. Georgian.
Yeah.
I mean, all that like Eastern Europe, it's just, they're a fucking problem. All right? They're a goddamn problem. Of course, he's a black belt in combat sambo. It's just what they do, dude. Yep. He's a problem. He is a problem, man. But I do think Jose Aldo gets it done. I think it's too soon for Valashvili. Rooting for Jose Aldo, just like it's tough not to root for these legends, man. But I do think Jose Aldo gets it done. And the co-main event's fantastic.
Yep.
The co-main event, I bet, gets more attention than the main event just because Paulo Costa and Luke Rockhold will talk some shit. They will talk shit all day. They've been talking shit. Paulo Costa, he's lost his last 2. Luke Rockhold hasn't had a win in a hot second. But Luke Rockhold's so goddamn talented. When Luke was in here, you can just tell the focus that he has on this fight. He's dead serious about it. He's running mad. He was late to the fucking campaign because he took shrooms and just went running and lost track of time. He has his diet on point. I know he's the underdog in this. I'm taking Luke Rockhold. I think he gets it done. I really do. Now, Bisping had something interesting to say. He was saying on BT Sport, which is my favorite thing to watch, on BT Sport, that, he's very close with Luke's trainer at Ruka. And he was saying that the trainer there was telling him that Luke hasn't really done sparring. Like, he's training hard, but not as hard as you would like, which is a little alarming. But also, if you're Luke, coming from those AKA days, I get why you're not going to spar so much. You know, yeah. I get it.
He's had some bad knockouts too, so
hell yeah,
yeah. Good. Like good for his head.
Yeah, agree. Could be good. So on this fight card, if you're with me, like the dogs, you make some money, man. Parlaying Jose Aldo, parlaying Luke Rockhold, and then having Kamaru Usman. Or if you're really, really feeling froggy, you bet on all the dogs, Leon Edwards, Luke Rockhold, and Jose Aldo. I could see all of them winning. I really can. Listen, we got to take a little break from me chatting your ear off about fisticuffs because, listen, your boy is getting in shape. I have a Tough Mudder August 27th in Chicago, and one of the ways I like to get in shape is by riding my bike, but I need good headphones. You guys make fun of me. I'll post selfies on the trails next to rattlesnakes, hanging out with rattlesnakes. I'm friends with a lot of rattlesnakes, and you guys make fun of my because I have wires on my freaking earbuds. My ears are weird. I haven't found a wireless one that works for me. And then my friends at Raycon wireless earbuds said, you know what? We got you, daddy. Raycon's everyday earbuds look, feel, and sound better than ever. With optimized gel tips for the perfect ear-in fit. That's what I'm talking about. That's why they work for your boy here. These earbuds are so comfortable, and they will not budge. Trust me, I freaking tear down the mountain. I'd never worry about them. And here's my favorite part of Raycons. They give you 8 hours of playtime, a 32-hour battery life. Y'all, Raycons are priced just right. You get quality audio at half the price of other premium audio brands. It's no wonder Raycon's everyday earbuds have over 50,000 five-star reviews. I can't get enough of it. My ears are weird. I listen to music, podcasts. I talk when I'm riding my bike or working out. These are the only earbuds I will endorse. All right. Go to buyraycon.com/Schaub, SCHAUB today. You get 15% off your Raycon order. That's buyraycon.com/Schaub to score 15% off. Buyraycon, RAYCON.com/Schaub, SCHAUB. These are the best earbuds I've ever had. Buyraycon.com/Schaub. Man, one of my buddies, close friend, I won't say who, but they got hacked, man. And I just don't mean like hacked, like someone broke into their Instagram. I'm talking about their bank info got hacked, their freaking email got hacked, and it is scary, man. And I thought to myself, that could happen to anybody. It's always been a concern about mine. Found out so much personal stuff online. I'm ordering stuff, address here, freaking billing info here, credit card info here. Between my family and my busy life, I got enough to worry about already. I need a peace of mind. I need some identity protection, man. But how do I even know where to start? What do I need here? All right. And listen, my friends at Allstate said, say less, daddy. Allstate identity protection, the best identity protection from a brand you can trust. I have Allstate for all my other insurance, but guess what? They're doing protecting you online, man. The internet knows a lot about you, but doesn't have to. With Allstate Digital Footprint, see a list of your online accounts, track where you've been online, learn how companies are using your data. If your personal information has been exposed in a data breach, and get tips to proactively protect your privacy and identity. This stuff's important, all right? And Allstate Identity Protection even includes dark web monitoring with AI and human-sourced intelligence, providing extra layer of detection. They got you, dudes, all right? With AIP, they'll reimburse you up to 1 million buckaroos for out-of-pocket expenses, lost wages, legal fees. They'll also cover money stolen from your bank accounts, 401ks, HSAs, and tax returns. Not only will Allstate monitor to help keep you safe, but should identify theft ever occur, their U.S.-based customer care identity specialists provide expert support 24/7, 365 days a year. All right, you got a team behind you now with an industry-leading 98% satisfaction score. Think that the identity protection your bank provides is enough? Think again. It's not. The reality is that most financial institutions act only after fraud occurs rather than preventing it. They're just responding to it. You got to be proactive. You're not reactive with this fraud. You don't want to react to fraud. You want to be proactive, man. And that's where Allstate comes in. Having comprehensive monitoring coverage from AIP will make sure you can stop identity thieves in their tracks before any major damage is done. Plus, AIP can even monitor your social media and ensure no one takes over your accounts. All right. What I love about Allstate Identity Protection is I have a peace of mind. Of course, I have a digital footprint out there. Of course, some of my info's out there, but I'm not worried about it. My friends at Allstate are working 24/7 and they're not reacting. I don't call them and go, hey, I think. No, they're putting out the fire before it even starts, man. All right? Don't be reacting to when your stuff gets hacked. Be proactive. That's where Allstate comes into play here. So when you think about identity protection, think Allstate Identity Protection. To find out if your employer offers Allstate Identity Protection, head to aip.com/Schaub, SCHAUB. If not, cool. Get a 30-day free trial at aip.com/Schaub. One last time. That's aip.com/SCHAUB. Be proactive. The main event, Kamaru Usman, our pound for pound number one in the sport in the UFC, Kamaru Usman. What's scary about them is, now they fought before, right? They fought before and Kamaru beat them via decision. But I don't put too much emphasis in that first fight. Both guys have changed so much. Leon Edwards has gotten better at wrestling, and even his MMA striking has gotten better since then. Kamaru Usman, when he fought Leon Edwards, you're talking about a straight up wrestler fighting Leon Edwards. Now Kamaru's game is completely different. He has more confidence in his striking. He's worked with Trevor Whitman. He's worked with the, what's homeboy's name that he worked with before that? Henry Hoof. He's worked with Henry Hoof, who doesn't get enough credit, but he's working with Henry Hoof. He's really dialed into his boxing with Trevor Whitman, who I started with. I know how much of a fucking magician Trevor Whitman is. So Kamaru Usman now, this is very similar. Like, Leon Edwards isn't a knockout artist. Leon Edwards is a technician. Probably the best striking in welterweight division as far as putting it all together goes. He's won 10 in a row, some shit like that. Leon Edwards is a goddamn savage. You see what he did to Nate Diaz, but some of those rounds are 10-8. But the narrative on that is he got clipped in the last 30 seconds, the fifth round, which wasn't ideal for Leon or the UFC. But I do think this is a case of, can I see Leon Edwards winning? 100%. I think it's going to be Kamaru Usman's second toughest challenge. I do think Colby Covington gives Kamaru Usman the toughest challenge because of his style, because of the way he puts pressure on, his skill set, his wrestling background, his cardio. So if you're listing cardio in the welterweight division, Kamaru Usman's 1A, Colby Covington's 1B. Leon Edwards has good cardio, but not like those guys. So I do think this fight will be a matter of Leon Edwards, if he can control the narrative as far as Kamaru Usman not pressure him against the cage and lock him against the cage. I see Kamaru getting a finish. I don't think it goes all five. I think Kamaru finishes him. I think Leon Edwards also will be surprised how much better Kamaru has gotten at the art of striking, and I think Kamaru lands some big bombs. You look at how much better Kamaru has gotten. You look at the Masvidal fight. First one, not fun, very boring. I could see this fight being boring. Kamaru could put him against the cage, hold him against the cage, do work, get him down there. Leon gets back up, right in the cage. You get a lot of that for 5 rounds, but Kamaru wins. Cool. But I can see in a world where Kamaru Usman fancies himself a striker, wants to prove a point, prove he's the pound for pound champ, and lands a big shot on Leon Edwards. Again, Leon Edwards is a volume guy, a technician, makes very little mistakes in there. But also, remember, in that fifth round, Nate Diaz, after getting his ass whooped, there were a few 10-8 rounds there, after getting his ass whooped, was allowed to land a right hand on Leon Edwards and wobble him. You're out your goddamn mind if you don't think Kamaru Usman hits harder than Leon Edwards. Kamaru lands, dude. It's problems for Leon Edwards. Easier said than done. I could see it happening, but I can also see Kamaru Usman hold him against the cage for 5 rounds, boring fight. The one I'm keyed onto, and I don't think goes all 3 rounds, is Paulo Costa, Luke Rockhold. I think Paulo Costa comes out like a goddamn banshee. I think Luke gets him down, and Luke is... you guys haven't seen it. I'm fucking telling y'all. Luke on the ground, especially on top, is a fucking nightmare. The best in the middleweight division. Nightmare, dude. And then Luke wins this one. It's off to the races. Being a former champ, even though he hasn't had a win in a hot second, he's lost to some tough fucking guys. I'm just curious. He's pretty outspoken. He's lost his last 2. He's 3 out of his last 4. But one lost to Bisping for the middleweight championship. He beat David Branch, lost to Yoel Romero. Romero, came in way overweight, won the championship. He did get KO'd in that. And then the KO against Jan, taking, an entire year off and come back fighting Jan. Nothing to hang your head on. Jan becomes, world champion. So doing something right. So, I think Luke does have to watch his P's and Q's earlier in that fight, man. He has to do that. Otherwise, he get in some trouble with Paulo Costa. He does hit like a Mack truck. But to that extent, Paulo Costa's lost his last 2. So if you get in a rhythm of losing fights and not capitalizing, he lost the Vittori fight for sure. He lost the Izzy fight. So he got dealt with in that Izzy fight. But he did beat Yoel Romero and stuff like that. So I just think Luke, if he can avoid the big punches early on as this fight goes on, if it was 5 rounds, I would bet my house on Luke. But he just has to avoid getting hit in those first 2 rounds, especially that first round. Luke has got to avoid that. He has to use his wrestling. His wrestling's good, but it's not at a high. He's not Bo Nickal. You know what I'm saying? He's not Kamaru Usman, but he's good enough to get homeboy down. So I do think Luke fights smart. He realizes what's on the table. But again, for Luke, listen, I like guys that cause a shitstorm. I like guys that talk shit to the UFC. I think it's fun. It's entertaining. Him talking about fighting and making some points on, the 50K bonus. Everyone wants to say, 50K, but the UFC's grown. How are we still on 50K bonus? And guys that are excited about it, it's a fair point. Now, that being said, I don't know if the UFC wants their champ being that guy. I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up hurting him, even if he knocked Paulo Costa out in 3 seconds with a head kick. Best KO we've ever seen. I don't think UFC gives him a title shot. Because one of the downsides of talking that shit, which he is, which I appreciate, you talk that shit, UFC's going to discipline you. You have to walk through fucking fire before you become a world champion, before they give you the opportunity. So we'll see what happens. Fun fight, though. 2 fight campaigns on Saturday. You're crazy, Brendan. Say less. Say less. Team is working. Casey's pissed he can't play golf. Oh, you can for sure, dog. All right, what else you got, Chin?
Alrighty. Let's go to a few retirements here.
Yeah,
your boy.
Nina Nunez retired.
Yep.
Rory McDonald, yep, my boy retired. I think he was checked out long before this.
I feel the same way, too.
I think he was checked out.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I watched that fight live. It was on right before the UFC prelims on Fight Night San Diego.
Mm-hmm. And also...
Rory just, the speed's not there anymore. But Rory's not a sad story. There's a lot of pressure on Rory to be the next GSP. And it's just, you're talking about lightning in a bottle when it comes to GSP, But he was supposed to be the savior of Canada when GSP retired, so there was a lot going on with him.
Yeah.
Uriah Hall retired too?
Uriah Hall as well.
It's with great sadness I was stepping away from the greatest sport in the world. I'm going to miss the incredible UC staff that has become like family and the mentors I've met along the way. UC has given me the best opportunity to step completely outside of my comfort zone. Throughout the years, I've gone up against some of the best in the world at the highest level. Although I did not achieve the rank of world champion, I've acquired some of my greatest achievements. He did beat Gegard Mousasi.
Yeah.
I was facing my fears of becoming a champion in life. I want to thank the incredible fans who made the sport with us today. It's important to have the right people around you that take care of you, encourage you to become a better version of yourself. I want to thank my team, my coaches, my friends, family. Lastly, I want to thank Dana White for giving me the opportunity to collide with modern-day gladiators. Thank you for always supporting me through good or bad. To the next generation, you are the top 1% of the greatest athletes on the planet. I disagree. Will be a pleasure to watch where you all take the sport from here. I will be watching Go Forth. Praying emoji. Yeah, Uriah Hall's an interesting one. He used to train with us at Rain, has all the fucking skill in the world, but for him, it was up here.
Yeah.
There's always a fight inside of his mind because he has a skill set to be anybody in the world. Anybody in the world.
Yeah, so he lost his last 2 and then called it quits.
If you remember him, he's another guy that had a lot of pressure on him because remember his spinning heel kick knockout on Ultimate Fighter? Yeah. And Dana was like, oh, he's like Anderson Silva. And everyone was like, Jesus Christ. And then, the UFC is just a different animal. He had his ups and downs, but overall, good career, man. Great career. Mm-hmm. Split decision losses to Kelvin Gastelum, John Howard. beat Thiago Santos, beat Gegard Mousasi, beat Jotko, beat Anderson Silva, Chris Weidman. He has some big wins, man. But yeah, I mean, again, another guy similar to Rory McDonald. We put this pressure, all this pressure on these guys. And remember, this is back in the day too. When he won the Ultimate Fighter, it was off to the fucking races. Now the UFC's learning. They learned with Darren Till, ruined Darren Till. They learned. You look at what they do with Sugar Sean, Patty. Like they're kind of taking their time on guys now. But yeah, shout out. Good luck in retirement, Uriah Hall. He's such a nice guy. Rory McDonald too, man. His family, kids. 2 daughters, I think.
Yeah, look, he has a great family.
Yeah, great guy.
I thought this was pretty interesting. So these are the salaries for the UFC San Diego. And let's see here. Angela Hill actually made more than...
Chito?
Yeah, made more than Dominick Cruz. But that's her show and win. So $95,000 to a show, $95,000 to win.
Yeah, I'm curious, but Dominick Cruz would have made a lot more than everybody if he would have won. That's the game, dude. That's the game.
Yeah. Just interesting.
Yeah, but if he would have won,
Yeah.
you got to win. That's the game. Dana did that GQ interview, and they were talking about fighter pay, and he was like, I mean, what do you want me to do? He said, I think we pay guys fairly. Of course, he's going to say that. And this is what people should note, is he also said the pay change will never happen as far as when I'm alive. You're like, eesh. They got quite the hurdle to jump there. So Dana White was asked GQ interview over concerns about low fighter pay. He goes, you always have something to bitch about, I guess. These guys get paid what they're supposed to get paid. And then Jake Paul, who's been infamous going at Dana, goes, no major sport organization pays its athletes as poorly as Dana White in the UFC. If you don't see that, then you're one of Dana's sheeps. They keep talking about selling out 21 events in a row, but never talking about raising fighter pay, giving them healthcare and fair revenue split. Yeah, he's right. I think Dana's going to be surprised the pressure that comes forward the more people learn about the pay. Again, I quit talking about the pay. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know their overhead. It appears, I think they pay out, it's almost 20% of their overall gross. I don't know. It seems like they could afford to pay him more. I legit don't know, though. Looking at the numbers, again, I don't know all their overhead and all that shit.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, pay Casey or Mark more. You don't know my overhead, dog.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? I think you guys are paid what you're supposed to get paid.
So Sam Alvey, he was on Ariel's show, and he's been vocal about not criticizing the pay. He says like he's happy with the payment. He said like when he started that level, it's been going up incrementally. So when he started, what was it like the headliners now? Or the headliners back then, he's making more money than they did back then. So it's going up, somewhat.
Listen, it's just their business model. You eat what you kill. You eat what you kill. So when you look at that and you're like, oh, Dominick Cruz got paid less than Angela Lee or whatever, you're like, yeah, man, you got to win.
Angela Hill.
You lose, you get Angela Hill. Yeah, Angela Lee's won championship. I don't know. I feel 20% is pretty low.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I could understand if the league was doing bad, but they had their biggest year ever. Every year is bigger than the next, and they're signing all these deals. But it's just Dana and the UFC is getting fatter. Well, the fighters now they point and they go, well, look at what Conor makes. Look at Khabib. It's like, no, I know the outliers.
Well, that's what they bring in.
Yes,
too, so,
yeah, and even they're not compensated. Those guys are crunk about it because they're making more money than God. But really, if you look at how much they're worth to the company, they're underpaid.
Yeah, agree.
It's like if you look at what Joe Rogan got paid from Spotify, you look at how much the company's revenue went up, how much their net worth went up in stock, you'd say you got grossly underpaid. Companies over billions of dollars now since he's jumped on board. Like, oh, but they paid him $100 million. It's like, no, I know, it's a lot of money, but if you look at the actual numbers, you break down black and white, he got underpaid. You look at Conor, I would imagine what Conor means to the UFC, the amount of fights he's brought in, the biggest pay-per-view star of all time, I would be willing to bet he's underpaid.
True that.
The key thing there is Dan was like, as long as I'm alive, you'll never see a change in fighter pay. Ooh, he's not even open to it. This ain't happening.
Yeah, he always says like, if you want to pay him more, then you start your own league, right? So,
Again, I kind of respect that.
Yeah.
He's like, cool, start your own league. How are these other leagues doing? And the leagues are like, we're going to pay 50%. They're in business for 1 year. Affliction was like, we're going to do what's right.
Yeah.
James, I'll say less. And then a year later, they're out of business. So it's hard to argue because they have, they got the best show in town. They're paying the fighters what they think is what they should pay them. Mm-hmm. And they create major stars,
Speaking of Affliction, is Barnett free at all or no?
For
Josh Barnett for one of the companions, I guess.
Not a bad idea. Could hit him up.
All right. Here, Yuri Prochazka and Glover Teixeira, their rematch is in talks for UFC 282 in this December. So end of the year.
I'll take it. Take my money.
And that's at T-Mobile Arena. And some other fight announcements. Jared Cannonier versus Sean Strickland.
Ooh, that's a fun fight.
Fight night main event.
Both coming
October
off
15th.
losses. Huge fight for both these guys.
Mm-hmm.
You lose that one, it'd be tough to get back in the queue for a title shot.
Indeed. Another one, Jack Hermanson, Derek Brunson.
That's a fun fight.
December 3rd, yeah. And let's see here. Already know that Sam Alvey's no longer with the UFC.
Yeah.
After the 9-something losses. This was weird. So Tyson Fury last week on a Tuesday said he's doing a comeback. He wants to fight Derek Chisora. And he even did an Instagram thing with his new trainer, talking about the trainer. And literally a few days later, he says he's decided to retire again.
So I see this. I figured he was retired, and then his promoter was like, no, he's not retired. Him versus Joshua would be still one of the biggest fights we need to do. He said I'd fight Joshua if only it was for free, so clearly that's not happening. And then he posted a picture. He's like, to celebrate my retirement, I bought this. He bought an F8 Ferrari Tributo Spider, same car I have. And I'm telling you, man, I keep telling people this. They're like, you fit in that thing? I'm telling you, man.
Tyson Fury.
I know my fucking cars. Tyson Fury's big ass fits in it, so I fit perfect. He fits good in it. I don't know if you have to get special seats made because he is taller, but I don't know. But yeah, he posted a picture of that F8 Tributo Spider saying, decided to walk away with. He's only 34.
That's so crazy.
Do you look at him? He has room too. He's chilling.
It's a trip that he's fitting in there.
Now, if you hit the coupes with the hard top, a little less room. But I'm telling you, you get the Spider, big boys can fit in it.
Right side too on this one.
And then he loves the dinosaur nuggets and
Chicken
fries.
nuggets.
Like my fucking 2-year-old. He's the best.
That's cool.
The best.
Yeah. So Judo Gene LaBelle, he passed away, I guess in his sleep, natural causes. But I remember him because of Ronda Rousey.
Him and
back in
Ronda were
those days.
very close. Him and
Yeah.
Ronda were close. He's the guy. So it says served as an inspiration for the Quentin Tarantino character. Inspiration, sure. That if you talk to Gene LaBelle, that's how it went down. He fucked dudes up on set, like guys who thought they were tough. Gene LaBelle was like, "Say less. Check this out." He was like, Hollywood royalty. The character in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, my favorite movie of all time. The character Brad Pitt that fucks up Bruce Lee. That is from the perspective of Gene LaBelle. Apparently, that actually happened. So, rest in peace, my man. Legend.
This is pretty crazy. So,
I think Bruce Lee's family's all upset. They're like, this
Yeah.
is bullshit. It's like, really?
I mean, I don't know what happened.
No, I do. I think that's exactly what happened.
Okay, yeah, could have happened. Yeah, it's possible. All right, so the Korean Zombie has a gym in Korea, and check out what happened here.
Holy shit. Is that rain?
Yeah. I guess there's a crazy floods and rain in Korea.
God damn. That is a ton of water.
Yeah.
It's happening in Vegas too. Like the Vegas,
Really?
the casinos got flooded too.
Well, I mean, if it's raining in Vegas, that's good.
Yeah.
Hopefully, no too much floods, but it's
As
good.
all dads say, we need it.
Yeah, we definitely do.
We need it. Anytime it started raining, my dad in Denver, we need it. I'm like, all right, dude.
We do need it now.
I mean, I
We
guess.
do.
Do we?
Yeah, we do.
Or do we just stop producing fucking almonds and not have the drought
Yeah,
anymore?
that's a
do we
start.
need almonds that bad?
I do love almonds though.
Yes.
So Kamaru Usman, he's already done the 50 clean tests and all that stuff. I guess once he even started his career, he was tested. So that's when USADA came in. So he's upset, which I would be too, because he's saying like, why do they have to do it at 5 a.m. in the morning? That's when they came knocking on his door.
It is weird, especially right before a fight. It's like, USADA, can you not wait till after 10 a.m. to do this so a guy gets rest, preparing for the biggest fight of his life? It doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. At least you know they're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, the time thing sucks because he needs his freaking rest.
Stupid.
All right, let's look at this real quick. So, Darren Till didn't tweet at Daniel, but tweeted about Daniel Cormier, and I'll just show you the tweet here. Charles Islam, what a fight. Just don't let DC commentate. You know, implying that he's going to be biased or whatever. So then Daniel Cormier responded.
I expect better from you. I called multiple teammates' fights, and honestly, my commentary doesn't affect the judges or anything. Honestly, most times my team is mad at me because they feel I'm too much in the other direction. Do better, Till.
Yeah, and then Till responded.
I forget who I was talking to. I'm sorry, I was drunk. Oh, wait.
Till goes this first.
Till says, I was just joking. I only said it for likes and retweets. Hope see commentating, smiley face. Yeah, he's just a troll.
Yeah.
He needs to win fights, though.
I know
what I'm saying? It's like,
that is the most important thing.
Yeah, I was down with it, but when you haven't won a fight in years, it's kind of like, all right. So you're the funniest guy on Twitter? That's your gig now? Come on, dude.
He wants likes and retweets. So
yeah, how to do it.
Do it, yeah.
Doing it for the gram.
There's been a lot
Can we just talk about that this fight of Paulo Costa and Luke Rockhold is for the best looking man in the UFC?
And best bodies.
Face, bodies, all around. They got the whole package.
Yep.
Dudes are going to be fingering their buttholes during this fight. This fight is lit.
Yeah, but he's looking
best
ripped.
body. Oh, my God. These boys, they just got bodies for days. Bodies for days. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, Paulo Costa said, oh, Luke, you think you're the best looking guy in the UFC? Hold my bear because my dad's Vitor Belfort. He is bodied up, dude.
Yeah. He looks like not too jacked, not like, bulky. He looks like he's kind of slimmed down a little bit, so that's good.
They both look good.
Yeah. I don't know if you knew about this.
Daddy's a looking, daddy's a liking.
Okay, I don't know if you knew about this, but I guess Fight Pass now has a comedy series with this guy.
Oh, Adam Hunter. Adam Hunter's great. I've known Adam for years. Adam's a great comic.
Mm-hmm. So he does comedy. And I guess these, so far, Frankie Edgar, Sarah McMahon, Andre Touchy-Feely, and Gerald Harris, they're doing stand-up.
That's cool.
On that show.
I know Woodley has tried it a few times, too.
Oh, let me just play you this real quick clip of Frankie Edgar. Let me know what you think.
You know, I have more time in the octagon than anybody in the history of the UFC. I've been punched, kicked, and beaten down more than Will Smith's been beaten by Jada. Listen, if punches were dicks, my face would look like Paige VanZant's inbox.
That's funny.
Not bad, especially he's just starting out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dig it, man. That's cool. This is a cool concept.
Pretty cool, yeah. All right. So, BJ Penn was going for governor.
Oh, he lost?
Yeah. But he's not conceding.
Oh, very Trumpish of him.
And there's some funny things in here.
They're not conceding. It's like there wasn't like collusion here. It's not like, yeah, all right, keep going.
Let's watch. This is one of the things on his whatever agenda.
What's up, everybody? This is BJ Penn, and I believe Oahu needs a drag strip racetrack just like the Big Island. The Big Island has one, and Oahu needs one, and it's been way too long.
What?
A drag racetrack. It's been too long.
Yeah, that's what we're fucking missing. You're like, bitch, we can't eat. You think we give a fuck about a drag strip?
And then this is David DJ Harris Jr. posted this, but then the comment was funny from Stone's mom.
So BJ Penn, get rid of the corruption. So Stone's mom, and who knows who this guy is. My husband's friends arrested him, passed out behind the wheel with his face covered in cocaine, and we're still voting for him because fuck the system. Just want to get in and fire the school superintendent and expose shit. I'll take that any day over Kai Kahele and Green. This guy says, same here, even though in his past, we're still voting for him. Well, apparently not enough people voted for him.
There's the poll right there.
Oh, my God. The guy beat 10-8 rounds.
Yeah. But he's second.
That sucks. I wish he would have won. Duke. Oh, hold on. Is that a white dude?
What's up?
I mean, what? Oh, no. He's Hawaiian as shit. Duke Inoue. BJ Penn. BJ's picture looks the most official. Heidi just barely got his. I mean,
Yeah.
5,000 votes. What are we doing? And then Gary just
Doesn't
give
even
it
have a
up.
picture.
Yeah, what are we doing? Gary doesn't have a pick.
Yeah. Okay, this is another issue with Adrien Broner. He was supposed to fight this weekend, and he bailed out saying he had some sort of mental issues going on right now, mental health issues. Oh wait, you don't have to read the whole thing, but he's sorry to his fans, blah, blah, all that stuff.
Mental health. So he says, sorry to the fans, mental health is real, and I'm not about to play inside the ring. I've watched a lot of people die playing the box career. No, you haven't. Something I won't do. Just pray for me. I love the sport of boxing too much not to give my all. I feel like I came up short because my mind wasn't 100% there, and I'll be damned if I make that mistake again. I need to make some change for the better side. Worry about other people's feelings, please them.
And then his opponent is like,
mental health is tough to do. Like if someone says mental health, it's like thing you can't touch. You know, you're like, well, prove it.
that's exactly
all right. Well, I'm sad. How about that? I'm sad.
Yeah.
Show me how sad. What do you want me to do, dude? You want me to send you a video crying? I do, actually. As we all know, my fight against that MF Broner is off. Now, I don't mind this because something we expected, so we had plans in motion. What really pisses me off is how this MF wants to use mental health as a effing excuse that I have a problem with because that's BS. You don't get to cry mental health now, MFer. Not saying you don't suffer mental health issues. We can all tell you do. Just don't use it as an excuse now after you've been on discipline, not taking this fight, training camp seriously. That'd be my thing. That's where my head goes.
Yeah. Then he goes, show me.
If it is really mental proof, please show us proof you went and sought professional help. Come on, Daddy. You know it don't work like that. That's why mental health, if you need to get out of anything, it's what are you going to do?
I know.
And now I'm not saying he doesn't. Clearly, Adrien Broner has some mental issues. But also, as a professional fighter, if you're not disciplined, you're overweight, and your coach is like, bro, you look like shit. We got to pull out of this. You can't say, oh, I was on discipline and decided not to take this fight serious, and now I'm not ready to go. You can't do that. So mental health is a good out. You love to post all your shit on social media. Why not let us in your mental health recovery? You don't get to undermine mine and countless other journeys, struggles with mental health because of your undisciplined childless dumbass. F you, Broner. Just when I thought you couldn't stoop any lower.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. How do you prove it?
I know. I mean, if you had hospital records, that'd be one way, but who knows?
But do you check in the hospital when you're, depressed? I mean, if you're suicidal, you should. But if you're just, if you have chronic depression, I don't know.
Yeah, you probably
I'm with homeboy here where I'm like, dude, come on, bro.
likely undisciplined.
Yes, come on.
All right. So Bo Nickal, he's been all the hype recently.
I'm a fan.
Yep.
Biggest prospect in a hot second.
He won his fight in the Contender Series, but then Dana White didn't
It's
pick
his second fight. He won the Contender Series. Then Dana goes, not going to be a contract yet. You got to fight one more time. I would even say he needs to fight 5 to 6, 7 more times. If we're doing this right. Because once you're in the UFC, you better be ready to go, man. With Bo Nickal, there's been some big names. They're like, I don't get the kind of hate on Bo Nickal as far as, his wrestling pedigree. Now, was he Olympic gold medalist? No. And did he make the national team? No. But you're talking about, and hold up, neither did Phil Davis, neither did a lot of these great wrestlers. You know how hard it is to be an Olympic gold medalist? Very few. Henry Cejudo, there's not many, man. It's fucking mission impossible. Now you're talking about one of the greatest collegiate wrestlers ever in Bo Nickal. Now, the guy that he lost to get on the national team, which isn't in the weight class he competes at, but to get on the team, he lost to David Taylor, who, I don't know if you know this, went on to win gold, also was his training partner for many of years, so they know each other. David Taylor, it's not like he lost to a guy who didn't make the team either. He lost to the guy. So to go, oh, he's not even on the Olympic team. I mean, his wrestling's decent. Decent? Wrestle Bo Nickal. Let me know how it goes for you. You're talking about he won the Heisman for collegiate wrestling. 3-time All-American out of Penn State. Ever heard of it? So for me, the criticism on him as far as wrestling is just stupid. Unless you're Jordan Burroughs, shut your yapper, right? When it comes to wrestling, right? Because you're not Jordan Burroughs. All these guys criticizing him. The other thing is, I'm with, and Bisbing said it best, who's like, slow your roll, young man. Like, and I agree with all this criticism. It's like, you know, he's 2-0 on Dana White Contender Series, and it's only 2. Oh, he's 2-0.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he's well, I'm sorry. 2-0 professional, 1-0 on Dana White Contender Series, but 2-0, so he only has 2 professional fights. His longest fight lasted a minute. He destroyed that dude. That dude had no business being in there. I assume they give him a step up in competition in this next one. Let's see how he does with that. But even at 3-0 to get in the UFC, again, Bo, it's such a marathon, not a sprint. I would like if he went outside that and competed, because just competing on the Contender Series isn't really the way to go. Also, if he's like, I don't want to do that, I just want to be, you know, doing my UFC thing, cool. If I'm Dana, make him the face of Contender Series. Make him make a Contender Series champion. Have Bo Nickal get experience on the Contender Series, and guys have to get through him to get to the UFC. Not a bad test, but also you got a superstar. Bo Nickal is the biggest prospect we've had in fucking years. Huge prospect. So, I mean, this Dana White Contender Series is really blowing up. People dig it. Destroys the Ultimate Fighter now. Not even close. I can't believe anybody watches the Ultimate Fighter. I don't know if people do watch Ultimate Fighter. I know people watch Dana White Contender Series. I know Bo Nickal is a huge fucking name. Also, can you name the last time a guy in Contender Series got this much attention? Why not make him the face of it? Make him the champion of the Contender Series, and then have him graduate to the UFC so the fan base grows with him. But to have a guy who's 3-0 fighting the UFC and really wrestling and grappling's his pedigree, and that's it, it's tough, man. It's tough. Because there are guys at that UFC level who aren't even in the top 30 who can defend a takedown from a world-class wrestler and make it fucking miserable. The UFC, especially this day and age, just being a wrestler ain't going to get it done. Now, there are guys who, if you look at the UFC champions, you look at people successful in the UFC, they specialize in one thing. You look at how Dominick Khabib was his wrestling, you know? Bo Nickal could be that maybe. I don't know. But signing the UFC a 6-fight contract, even if he destroys, which he will, soon, on Dana White Contender Series at 3-0, man. I would like a little more experience out of him. But for guys to be like, oh, he wasn't even that good of a wrestler, and just, what? You fucking kidding me, dude? Look at his goddamn record at Penn State, man. They're going to build a fucking statue of this man. He's a freak, dude. And that mentality, if Bo Nickal's a stock, I'm all in. And you're talking to a guy who didn't fucking touch crypto or Bitcoin. While you guys were sucking them off, now your money's cut in half. When it was the hype thing to do, I didn't invest in it. All right? But Bo Nickal, I'm all in, dude. I'm all in depending how the UFC wants to treat him. Make him the champion of Dana White Contender Series. Say once you get to 10 fights, win, lose, or draw, 10 fights, we're going to put promo into you. You're going to build a fan base. Fans are going to follow you. Then we're going to graduate you to the UFC. You go 10-0 on Dana White Contender Series, then we get to the UFC, we're going Sizzler, daddy. 10-0, you give him some good competition. If he does get beat, that guy automatically gets to the UFC. But also, there's way more pressure on the Contender Series too than him fighting these regional circuits. You know, like that's a big boy production. Dana White's there, ringside. You're the face of it. To me, that makes more sense. That one's on the house, UFC. But I'm all in on Bo Nickal.
Yeah.
Best prospect we've had since fucking a hot second. Hot second. Trying to think. What's his face over in Bellator? I'm high on.
Oh, Aaron Pico.
Yeah. But Bo Nickal, with his wrestling background, oosh. And he's training from a big boy camp. He's at ATT. Everyone says he's a savage, dude. Savage. Apparently, like, he doesn't look like it, but strength-wise, he's a fucking freak. He's like, to me, he's like a little mini Dan Henderson.
Oh, I miss Hendo.
Hendo is the best. Yeah, I loved him.
Okay, so Dana White on that same GQ Q&A series, he did his top 5 fighters of all time, and then he named off John Jones, Anderson Silva, Ronda Rousey, Conor McGregor, GSP.
Did they say give me 5, or they just said, you know what I'm saying?
Just the top 5, yeah.
I'm assuming the problem here people have is he doesn't have Khabib in it.
Yeah. Which I thought was a little weird too.
Well, obviously the guy interviewing doesn't know shit about fighting.
They're answering questions from Twitter. So someone on Twitter asked
Gotcha, but I would appreciate if the guy was like, well, define like your requirements for top 5, because just going through that list, it'd be tough to have Ronda Rousey in there as top 5 of all time, man or woman. Now, is she the number 1 most important, top 5 female fighter? 100%. But as far as straight up wins, losses, longevity, all that shit, you're more than Kamaru Usman. 20-1. He's about to break Anderson Silva's title record defense. So it's all, again, because he's Dana White fucking started the UFC and owns it and sold it for $1 jillion. It's important, but I would like to know what his criteria is for top 5. Some of those guys you can't have in there. Again, I would the only one I agree with on this entire I agree with 3 of them: John Jones, Anderson Silva, and GSP. Ronda and Conor, top 5 of all time. Again, what is your criteria for top 5?
He does mention Usman should be on there, but then that gets out of the 5 that he's saying. The first 5 he listed.
I just, when you talk about actual wins and losses and overall career in the UFC, I just don't know how you'd put Ronda and Conor over Usman or Khabib.
Exactly.
Conor and Khabib fought, right? And one beat the other one. And then for Ronda, how would you not have Amanda Nunes over her? They fought, right? Mm-hmm. So, but again, maybe he's thinking of like top 5 that changed the sport. And that's a great
that would
list.
Make more sense.
John Jones, I would love to hear an argument how he's not number 1. Oh, PEDs, shut it. I'm talking about straight up black and white wins and losses, best ever do it, fought the toughest competition over time at the most dangerous weight class in the world. It's John Jones, hands down. Shoe-in. Anderson Silva, I get, especially in his GSP, get. I'd have to know what his criteria is,
Yeah.
But yeah, Khabib and Kamaru should be in there.
And I believe that's pretty much it. Let's look at this real quick.
Patty blew up again?
Oh, yes, he did.
What?
Yeah. I think he said he's 200 right now. Oh, this is him when he walked into the UFC San Diego. Just a huge star, man.
I mean, he's night and day from when he's fighting to. I mean, they don't look like the same person.
I know.
I love it. To me, I love it. I can't get enough of it. Liverpool's original thick boy, man. The 5th thick Beatle.
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's it.
All right, kids.
Just fights here.
You got some big boy fights coming up. Again, Cowbass Fight Companion on a Thick Boy YouTube. You can watch 11 a.m. Pacific live. Our first Cowbass Fight Companion for BKFC 27. It's in London. You got Michael Venom Paige coming on over from freaking Bellator to face just the dog of all dogs, Mike Perry, who's undefeated in bare knuckle. He's only had 1 fight, but this fight is exciting, man. And for that fight companion, you have Bert Kreischer, the Machine. Ever heard of him? Matt Mitrione and myself breaking it all down, watching the fights, sipping some whiskey at 11 a.m. in the morning on Saturday. And then for the co-main event, you have Paige VanZant also fighting.
Segala,
and what'd you say?
Segala,
Yep. Fighting Segala. Good fights, man. I'm excited for it.
Want you got a little promo?
Yeah, let's get me crunk for this, Chin.
The one and only MVP, Michael Venom Paige. Entertaining, unusual, unique. I like to do stuff that doesn't necessarily make sense.
I think I'm one of the toughest men on the planet. It may not always be pretty, but damn it, you can't beat me. We'll see if he ever comes forward at all.
I want to go in there, I want to land shots and not be touched. I'm more a sniper.
Like I said, man, if he's there at the end of it, well, he'll be bleeding.
Connor, the Brumtown Bomber!
Oof. There you have it. This Saturday, Michael Venom Paige Mike Perry, it is going down. Calabasas Fight Companion, 11 a.m. Pacific time. We will be watching with Bert Kreischer and Matt Mitrione and myself. I cannot wait for that, man. This bare knuckle's fun. It's really fun.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
And then later that night, 7 p.m. Pacific, guests to be announced. Some very special guests. You guys are going to be crunk for this, man. We have Calabasas Fight Companion for UFC 278 in Salt Lake City, Utah. You have freaking Tyson Pedro, Jose Aldo, Paulo Costa, Luke Rockhold. That's your co-main event. The main event, Kamaru Usman, the pound-for-pound number one in the world versus Leon Edwards. The freaking Britons on a 10-fight win streak. They fought before, but both guys have gotten better. I can't freaking wait. Tune in, 7 p.m. Pacific time, Thick Boy YouTube. You also got, god dang, it's a busy weekend, daddy. You also got Anthony Joshua versus Usyk. Usyk beat him before. I always root for Anthony Joshua. I really hope Joshua gets his shit together so he fights Tyson Fury, even though Tyson Fury's running amok like Wreck-It Ralph and his F8 Ferrari in fucking London right now, but hopefully that fight happens. But you got a lot going on this weekend, man. Enjoy the fights. I will see you guys Saturday at 11 a.m. for the Bare Knuckle Fighting Calabasas Fight Companion with Bert Kreischer. And I'll also see you at 7 p.m. on Saturday for the UFC 278 Calabasas Fight Companion with very special guests. Then I'll also see you in Chicago, one night only, Den Theater on the 26th. One night, one show only. That bitch will sell it, so get tickets right now. It's not a big theater. That's Den Theater, downtown Chicago, August 26th. That's a Friday at 7:30, one show only. The Trash Panda Summer Tour continues. Then on the 27th, I'm running the Tough Mudder. You can sign up right now. If you go to fatkz.com, you'll see the link for the Tough Mudder on the 27th. That's a Saturday. Use promo code Team Brendan for 10% off. And then back on tour starts September 8th through the 10th, Appleton, Wisconsin. Appleton, Wisconsin, the Skyline Comedy Club there. My favorite people in the business run and own those clubs. That's Appleton, Wisconsin, September 8th through the 10th. Ontario Improv, Ontario, baby. I'm staying in town. Ontario Improv. That is September 15th through the 17th. And then I end September in Boston, one of my favorite places on the fucking planet. That's why my son's named Boston. Boston is September 29th through October 1st at Laugh Boston, baby. Tickets at fatkz.com or thickboy.com. I will see you this Saturday for BKFC 11 a.m. with Bert Kreischer. And I also see you at 7 p.m. on Thick Boy YouTube for UFC 278 Calabasas Fight Companion. That's it. Be nice to each other. Stay thick. See you Saturday.